I don't even know what to say. I feel very lost right now. I feel very stuck in my life, and it is extremely uncomfortable. As you all know, this year I have been intentionally working on myself, trying my best to be a happier, healthier version of myself, trying to understand myself more, trying to be kinder to myself and gentler with myself. And through doing all of that, I have gained some valuable tools in coping with depression and anxiety and just life in general and the ups and downs and the things that you can't control. I just feel exhausted right now. Life feels heavy and hard and like a little insurmountable right now. I feel like I am standing on the ground and I'm looking up at all of these ginormous mountains, and I do not know which one I'm supposed to climb, but they all look very daunting and they all look very treacherous, and I don't wanna, you know? August was a very hard month for me, mentally and emotionally, specifically because August had 3 birthdays for people who I love who are no longer here, who have passed away. And it was just week after week of constant reminders about how fleeting life is and how quickly it can all be gone and how scary that feels. And it was just a constant reminder of grief and the grieving process and the fact that it's not a destination. It's like something that you actively do every single day. They say that grief comes in 2 stages: the initial hit when you lose somebody, and then every day after that. Because as long as you're alive, you are going to have to continue to grieve this person, to bury this person day after day. And so having that reminder that they're gone and how quickly people can be gone and how quickly life can change and how fleeting and precious and scary it all is, to do that over and over and over again 3 weeks in a row, it just really took its toll on me. It was grief without a chance to catch my breath. And growth is tricky, and it is confusing, and it is constant. It's constant. So it's frustrating that right now I'm in a position where I just feel so stuck and so tired and so exhausted that I don't know what to do with myself, and I don't know how to get myself past this current moment I find myself in. I'm a sensitive, highly sensitive person. I feel things very strongly. And so being on this continuous train of just how sad it is that I'm never going to see these people again, that I'm never going to be able to talk to them again, that I'm never going to be able to change or to fix things for them. It all just felt very, very heavy. And I'm doing all of that processing while trying to remain present in my life and trying to stay on top of all of my things. You know, you want to stay present and enjoy the life that you are fortunate enough to be living in honor of the ones that can't anymore. But it's easy to think that way, but it's hard to do the things when you feel so burdened by the weight of it all. And I'm just at a point now, and I'm trying to be gentle with myself and kind with myself and be honest that I am tired and exhausted for good reason. and that I need to let myself rest and recover. But then I try and rest and recover, and I feel guilty about it. I feel like I am wasting time and wasting my life, and there's so many more things that I can be or should be doing. And so then I'm just compounding that exhaustion with exhausting myself over the idea of rest and what that looks like and what I'm allowed to do and the type of rest I'm allowed to have. I don't know what to do with myself, and I don't know how to get myself past this moment. I do logically know that it is a moment and that I'll look back on this time like I have so many others with fresh perspective and outlook and wisdom gained from the now of it all, but it feels pretty insurmountable at the moment. And the one habit I definitely have not been able to break is that the idea that I need to keep all of this to myself and deal with it by myself. I was raised in a culture where we do not talk about our problems, we do not discuss what is going on inside of our house, outside of our house, and then also raised in a society that says that my problems and how I feel because of who I am and how I look, no one cares, it doesn't matter. And so because of both of those things, I lived a life of just keeping everything to myself and dealing with everything myself. And dealing is a very loose term. But I learned coping mechanisms to be able to get myself through each hurdle without making it anybody else's problem, or without asking for help. Asking for help is such a scary thing because it goes against everything I was told and everything I was taught. And trying to unlearn all of those things and to decide differently for myself is a harder task than I ever imagined it would be. You know, once I got older and I realized the flaws in a lot of the foundation of my life, I decided that I was going to change that I was going to be different, that I was going to be better, that I was going to move through life in a way that suited me based on who I actually am and not based on who raised me or where I come from or anything else. And in so many ways, I have rewired my brain and my nervous system to think and feel a different way. But when it comes to asking for help and when it comes to allowing myself to be tired and to need and to want and to give myself rest, those are two areas that I still struggle immensely. And I keep finding myself in this situation where I get so exhausted and I just feel so burnt out. And everything feels hard, everything feels difficult. They always say you're supposed to care for yourself the way that you care for other people. I've never been able to do that. It is so easy for me to be there for people that I love. Hell, even people I don't care for that much. It's easy for me to be there because I am a nurturer and a caregiver by nature. And I've also watched my mother do it my whole entire life. Like, she's the greatest example of humans are here to help other humans. So that has always been such a simple task for me. It's been a no-brainer. But to ask for help in return, it's like the never-ending story of impossibleness. Like, it's so foreign to me. And then asking for help and then accepting the help, that is even, I can't. And I have amazing people in my life who I know without a shadow of a doubt love me and want nothing but the best for me and want to be able to support me in any way they can. And if I would just allow them to fully, I wouldn't keep finding myself here where I feel like I have just gone 100 steps backwards. And I know, just like grief, healing isn't a destination either. It is an ongoing continuous thing. And there are bound to be setbacks, and there are bound to be times where you feel so overwhelmed and so, I don't know, man. I don't know what the point of this particular video is. This is just me trying to come to terms with the fact that I am exhausted at the moment, and that it's okay to be exhausted, and it's okay to need rest, and it's okay to recover from things that you thought you already healed from. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to grieve. It's okay if nobody else understands it. Maybe it's just as simple as a perspective switch. Like, instead of thinking that I'm on the ground looking up at these mountains, maybe I'm somewhere on the trail, and I'm stopping to rest because I have been hiking for a very long time, and my body and my brain are tired, and I need a break. I need a rest in order to regain that strength and that chutzpah to be able to like get back in there and climb the rest of the way. And maybe I need to stop thinking that I have to climb this mountain by myself. I do believe that life makes more sense when we support each other through it. And I wish it wasn't so hard for me to let other people be that for me. I have almost 40 years of unlearning that I'm trying to do, and it is scary how deep that shit is within you, because things you thought you fixed or things you thought you've cleared out of the way, you've just brushed the surface, really. And it comes in waves. It just hits you and knocks you out. Every now and again, the realization or the reminder that healing is a much bigger task and a much bigger job than the internet makes you think it is. You know, the internet makes you think it is reading a couple books, having a couple therapy sessions, you know, changing your morning routine and your nighttime routine, and ta-da, you're fixed. But that's not, those are just tools. All those are tools that you are gaining, but like the real work is work. Anyway, no idea what the point of this is, of sharing any of this is. I don't know. If anyone else feels chronically tired and sad right now, you're not alone. And it is okay that we feel this way. And I guess the only thing I can take away from this last month is that I was reminded about the glimmers in life. And glimmers are those brief moments of joy and happiness that happen throughout your day. And if you actively spend your time trying to see those glimmers, those will come up more often, and they'll become more of your day. And despite the fact that life feels daunting and challenging and hard and chaotic, there are always, at the very least, glimmers of joy that you can find in your day to remind you why, I don't know, I beyond rambling at this point. I really hope for yourself and myself that we have a day that is good, and I hope that you see glimmers throughout your day of joy and happiness and reminders why, as chaotic and crazy and impossible life can feel sometimes, that it's beautiful as well. And I'm a work in progress in figuring that out and figuring how to let myself exist publicly and be embraced by people in my life who love me and want great for me. and who are smart and emotionally intelligent and who I know have the capacity for me and my feelings, but also have the capacity to help move me past where I'm at. And so I'm gonna reach out to somebody today. And if you are where I'm at and feeling how I'm feeling, then I would encourage you to think of one person in your life who you can reach out to and just say, like, I feel like, okay, I'm done. Goodbye.